have this vivid memory of sitting in the bathtub one time and just crying.
I think I punched my dad once.
You're not in charge of me right now. Like, you just won't leave me alone.
I had an epidural in my back, so I couldn't move very well.
She just wanted me to keep pushing and keep going.
Everybody had one. Like, if you didn't have one, you were looked down upon.
This is a show where teenagers share their experiences growing up in today's world. I'm your host, Dr. RJ, and this is A Teen's Perspective.
So the homework for last week was for you to do two things. So the first thing you had to do is to create your confidence posture. So we did a number of different postures. The one I liked the best was Conor McGregor. Like, I'm not sure if you guys know who that is, but he always kind of like has his chest sticking out, his shoulders back, head is up like that. That's like his confidence posture. So I challenge everyone to come up with their own confidence posture. And I'm going to explain why you need this in a minute. That was part of the homework. The second part of the homework, well, this is probably more of the bonus, was for you to stand in front of a mirror. And this is probably a little embarrassing, but that's okay. It's okay to be embarrassed. But you're supposed to stand in front of a mirror and you're supposed to tell yourself, this is twice a day now, say positive words over yourself. Like these, like, I am smart. I am a leader. I am loved. Whatever you want to say that really just kind of boost your confidence. There's a reason for doing those two things. And the reason is because what we're trying to do is overcome your current belief. So for many of us who has never tried to do anything to develop their confidence are just not confident. You're not. These exercises, I don't really do them anymore, but I did them, right? Because the key is to overcome the belief you already have. And we know about the thought triangle, how that works. So this confidence posture and these affirmations or these words that you're saying in the mirror as you're looking at yourself is going to help you with your confidence, because the key is you're trying to like rewire your brain, because your brain already believes that you're not confident because you've had years of not being confident, right? So the belief is like in your brain. It's really embedded. So the goal of this standing in front of the mirror and like looking at yourself and saying these words will help you with your confidence. Because the key is you need to do this as long as it takes until you start to believe that you're a confident person. Now, how do I know you're confident? How do I know that? I haven't met you, right? I haven't met everyone. Well, the reason why I know you're confident is because everyone has the emotion of confidence. It's just an emotion, honestly. That's all it is. So that means you can be confident at any point in time. I use the example for myself. I'm a confident person. I know I am a confident person. I don't need people to tell me I'm confident. I know I'm confident. But if I was hiking and I saw a bear, I guarantee I will not be confident. There's no way. Because it's just an emotion. That's all it is, an emotion, how you feel. So by you rewiring your brain to believe and to know that you're a confident person, you'll start to see things change, because it all starts in the head and a belief. So let's go back to the thought triangle. It starts off with a thought. Now, a bunch of thoughts make a belief. So currently, for all of you guys who did not do this exercise, currently you have a belief system that you're not confident. Some of you call it being shy. Some of you call it being uncomfortable. Some of you call it personality. It's not personality. I'm just quiet, right? Or some of you may say I'm an introvert, but none of that has to do with being confident. I'm telling you now, none of it has to do with confidence. It's a belief that you just have in your head. So either some event happened. Usually it happens in elementary school. Okay. So if you want to know why, and you want to know why you're shy and why you're not confident, something happened in elementary. I don't know what it was. I wasn't there, but something happened. It's irrelevant what happened because you're not even the same person in elementary, right? You're a completely different person now. So it's irrelevant. My point I'm trying to share with you is you have that belief because a bunch of thoughts, and I'm sure how you interpreted actions contribute to that belief. So whenever you're not feeling confident, you feel what? If you have a thought to say, oh no, I'm going in front of my friends or some strangers, I've never talked to, and you don't want to speak, you start to feel like you're not confident. You start to feel shy. You start to feel uncertain. And then your actions will be that. That's what we were talking about last time. Remember, I did the whole, some of you are kind of like this. Like you're leaning over, looking down when you're walking. You know why? Because this triangle tells you thoughts influences your feelings, which influences your actions, and is ultimately will give you the result. So if you're in your head, and I've coached several kids on this, you're going to school, you're walking down the hallway. Some of you right now, put your head down and like do this when you're walking. Now, if I saw you for the first time and I saw you doing this, what do you think I'm going to think? Like you're like an easy target to pick on, or are you somebody I just don't want to talk to? It's because you're beating yourself up in your head. You're like, oh no, all these people are looking at me. Like, what are they saying about me? So that, they look down. Because this is what happens. I'm going to tell you about this. This is what happens. And this is how you know if you're confident. It starts with a thought, right? It's a belief in your head. Thoughts create a belief. Your belief, you will know based on what you say. So the words that you speak tells me what you're thinking all the time. So when you say the words, oh, they're probably better than me, right? Like you're a sports player. I'm coaching a kid right now who plays volleyball. And she says, I have this tournament coming up next week. I think I'm going to do okay. I don't know. There's some really good girls. Does that sound like a confident person to you? No, right? Because the words you're speaking is in line with what you're believing. And guess what happens when you feel a certain way? If you don't feel confident, you start to act as if you're not confident. So the purpose of the exercise for you to look at the mirror and say these words is so that I can rewire your brain so that you can believe that you're confident. Because guess what? A confident is a what? Everyone shout it out. A confident is a what? An emotion, yes. A feeling, emotion is all, yes. It's all it is. So guess what? You have a bag full of emotions. And guess what happens? You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to ask for it. You literally can just open your bag, grab any emotion you want, and then you have it. Okay, you don't believe me? Let's try exercise. Right now, I want you guys to think about the last time you were laughing so hard that you like snorted or made a weird sound, or, you were just with your friends having a good time. I want you to think about that. Okay. When you remember that situation, I want you to like relive it. So the way you relive a situation, and this is so you guys know that time jumping is possible. So I want you to relive the situation and just replay it in your head. Just think back. Where were you? What room were you in? Who was there? And you start to feel what you experienced then as you go through this in your head, this laughing moment. But guess what? Now you're happy. Or I can make you feel happy. I can just give you a compliment. I can say right now, Benjamin is the coolest kid I ever met. I mean, this kid here is so cool. I love talking to Benjamin, I like hanging out with him, right? Just me saying those words, Benjamin probably already feels better. It's an emotion. You have access to any emotion you want. So the reason we did this exercise is because I wanted you to rewire your brain. So if you did not do the exercise, you should do it. And you should do it until you feel confident. You believe you're confident. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Say, for instance, you did the exercise, and say, for instance, you did it all week and you start to believe what I'm saying. You're like, hey, RJ's right. I am a confident person. But when you went around your friends, you noticed you were not confident. Or maybe you played in a basketball tournament and you noticed you were not confident. Why would that happen? Who knows the answer? Why would that happen? Because we're not used to it. Yeah, yes, good. The whites, yes, they actually are right. So I can tell you now, you guys are very confident people, all of you. The reason why some of you don't feel confident is because it's new to you, like it's not comfortable. Remember, we always identify as, hey, judgment is a good one, Kelly. Good job. Yes, we'll talk about judgment. You're right. But some of us are just not comfortable talking in front of people, right? Like it's not comfortable. We feel like awkward. And sometimes we go to the label, like I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert. Oh, I'm not outgoing. I hear that a lot. I'm not outgoing. Nope, that's not accurate. You've given yourself a label that's not accurate. If you're an introvert right now, it doesn't mean that you cannot be a talkative person. It doesn't mean that you can't be confident when you go out with your friends. It doesn't mean that you can't suggest things to your friends. Everybody's sitting around on their phone. You say, hey, let's go do this. It doesn't mean that at all. What introvert and extrovert means is literally, this is the simplest thing. I'm going to explain. I'll bet you some of you guys didn't even know this. Introvert and extrovert, the difference between the two is literally energy. That's it. That's it. That's all it is. It's energy. That's it. I'm telling you, if you're an introvert, all it means is that when you are around a lot of people, you feel drained. Like a lot of people drains your energy. That's it. If you're an extrovert, you get more energy from being around a lot of people. That's all it means. That's it. It doesn't mean you're confident or not confident. It doesn't mean you're outgoing and all that stuff. No. It literally just means that you feel drained or you feel energized. That's it. Now, if you want to be the opposite, you can. You just need to overcome being drained. And if the person who's energized from being around a lot of people, the extrovert, you just need to learn how to get energy when you're by yourself, right? So both groups have to learn how to play in the other space. It's just what it is. Some things just come natural for people. Some people are just naturally talkative. They don't have to try. They don't have to practice. They don't have to look in the mirror, right? And just say all these words. It just comes natural. So I'm telling you guys that there's no excuse for you to not feel confident. I need you to be confident. We're not getting off this phone until every person believes that they're confident. So let's talk about why should you want to be confident. Let's talk about that right now, okay? And I'm going to get to Kelly's point about the judgment, because that's a big one. I think that's a really big one of why a lot of people can believe it in their mind just from what I'm saying, right? I'm making good points. I know I am. You ain't got to tell me that. But I know I'm making good points. And for some of you, you're like, okay, I get it. I am confident. But then when you go experience it, like you're around your friends, all of a sudden you're not confident anymore, right? Actually, let's go ahead and jump into Kelly's point, because I really like Kelly that she brought that up. She says judgment. So let's ask this question. Why is it that you would understand that you're confident, like listen to my points of being confident, but then you don't do it? Like you don't experience it. Like you may feel good now that I'm on this call with you, but then when you leave from here and you go play a sport or you go around your friends, you just don't feel confident. The answer is fear. That's all it is fear. Fear of judgment, like what Kelly says, like your fear of being judged. I want to walk you back to that example I used. Let's say, for instance, you guys are going to a new school or high school or whatever, and you're walking down the hallway. I think every person have experienced this at one point or another. Everyone. If you're honest with yourself, you had to experience this. I've experienced it before. You're walking down a hallway by yourself, and you're walking down this hallway, and you just can you don't hear voices of your peers. You're actually hearing the voices in your head, and you're like, man, what are they saying about me? My shoes are ugly. Like I have this pimple on my face. They're laughing at me because I'm short. They're laughing at me because I'm tall. They're scared of making fun of you, right? Like you're thinking of these things as you're walking down the hallway. So that's the reason why you don't feel confident. So right now you're with me. We're talking about confidence. You're like, yeah, I'm a confident person. And then you go into school and then all of a sudden confidence leaves. The reason why is because of fear. That's all it is fear. So how do we beat fear? If we're scared of something, how do we beat it? I get it. We all have experienced it. So there's something that I did with one of the people on this call, I think, that I did one time, but I made a name up for it. I call it the rabbit hole game. This is what I do anytime you're feeling fearful. And remember, I'm not talking about scared, right? That's different. There's no game if I saw a bear, to be honest. There's no game I could trick myself in my mind. If I saw a bear, I'm freaking out, to be honest. But I'm saying fear is different than being scared. So this fear, what I'm speaking to you about, there's a way to beat it. The way you beat fear is by playing what I call the rabbit hole game. Have I done this with anybody on the call yet? Give me a shout if I did this with you. Anybody? Okay, I'm teaching all you guys this new one. Okay, so you guys can do this too. So this is called a rabbit hole game. It's not an official name. I just made it up. But this is how you do it. Anytime you're fearful, this is beyond confidence. This is for anything, like a test, right? So say you're about to take a test. Say you're about to play in a game. If you ever feel fearful, you could use this rabbit hole game. The way you do this is you acknowledge the fear, right? So let's say, for instance, I'm walking down a hallway and I'm thinking to myself, or actually you want to do this before you do it. So before I go in the hallway, I'm in the car ride. My mom is about to drop me off. And I'm thinking to myself, these people are going to make fun of me. So that's what it is. Keep going with it and see what happens. That's all you have to do. The rabbit hole game is just keep going with it. So I'm going to keep going with it. So I'm in the car, I'm driving, and we pull up. And I'm like, oh no, I'm a tall kid. And when I was in high school, I was tall and skinny. So I'm like, man, they're going to make fun of me because I'm skinny. I didn't want to wear shorts that have skinny legs. So I'm like, it's hot. I'm in Austin, Texas, and I'm going to have to wear these big old pants because I don't want to show my legs. So lanky. Yeah. They used to call me that in basketball. Hey, you're lanky. So I'm nervous already. So I'm thinking this, okay, so this is how I play the rabbit hole game. I'm like, okay, they're going to make fun of me. All right. So then you ask yourself, what happens? That's all you have to say. What happens? What happens if they make fun of you? Well, I think that I will feel sad. Okay. What happens if you feel sad? Well, I'm going to probably not want to talk to someone and just kind of feel bad about myself. Okay. What happens if you don't want to talk to someone and you feel bad about yourself? Well, I'll eventually sit by myself at lunch. Okay. What happens if you sit by yourself at lunch? I'm going to feel even more awkward. Like I'm going to be like weird. Okay. What happens if you feel weird? Well, then I finish the day and then I go home and okay. So the purpose of this is to show you that it's not that big of a deal. You're scared of something. You're fearful of something that even if it happens, what happens? You just go about your business, right? Like we all have had people make fun of us. And guess what? Right now we're here and I'm laughing with you. I just told you, I was worried about people making fun of me. I was called lanky and I'm right here right now laughing with you. It didn't kill me. So what does it matter? If you walk in the hallway and someone is talking about you, what then? What's going to happen? How are you going to feel? You're going to feel bad. Okay, if you feel bad, what then? What happens? Does that make sense? Yes, thank you. Thumbs up. Yes, Randall. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're being fearful of something that is just an emotion. I literally at the beginning of this conversation talked to you about your bag of emotions. We all have access to them. We all are going to experience them. So that means the coolest person you can think of right now, whoever that person is, the coolest person. Like, I don't know if it's Katy Perry. I don't know the popular people because I don't like keep track of that stuff. But somebody you know that's popular, I guarantee they have a bag of emotions. And guess what? They experience those emotions. They feel fearful sometimes. They feel silly. They feel weird, even though they're the most popular person, right? So all the people in your school right now that you have labeled as a popular kid, I guarantee you they felt weird. They felt embarrassed. They felt sad. All of that, okay? So they're just emotions. Let's not be scared of emotions. Experience them. It's okay to feel weird. It's okay to feel bad. But we're not going to let it take over us. Now, who was here the very first time where I talked to you guys about the job of your emotions? Who was here? Tell me. Spit it out. Give it to me. Who knows it? Remember the job of your emotions. What is the point of emotions? Why do you need them? Randall's right. It's to give your brain a message, essentially telling yourself a message. That's all it is. I want from now on for every one of you guys to think of your emotions, your feelings as a messenger. So think of your Amazon delivery driver. They're coming to your house. They're dropping off a package. And I asked you guys this who were on the call. Would you invite this Amazon person to be in your house for dinner? Would you let them come over for dinner? And most of you guys are like, no way. Would you let that person hang out and play video games with you? You're like, nope, no way. Would you let this person spend a night at your house? No. Somebody said it depends. It depends on how many packages they're going to give you. Yeah. But would you let this person live with you forever? You wouldn't. They're literally giving you a package here and they're gone. Bye. That is what we call an emotion. And last time that we were on this call, I told you guys the difference between an emotion and a feeling. They're two different things. They're not the same. Okay. So the job of your emotion was to give you a message. That's it. An Amazon delivery package guy. Just here's your package. Have a nice day. I got my mask on and I'm leaving. That is all your emotions do. That's all they do. Who knows the difference between an emotion and a feeling? Who knows it? An emotion is your body's response to something. So we're going to go back to the bear. As you know, I am afraid of bears. Okay, so I'm going to use it as my example every time. If I see a bear, I'm going to shut down. So if I see a bear, something happens in my body, okay? My body naturally, like in a split second that I can't control, will immediately start increasing my heart rate. It's going to release epinephrine. It's going to release cortisol. These are hormones. And all of a sudden, my heart rate is going to start pounding. My blood pressure is going to increase. My breathing will increase. But guess what? My immune system shuts down. My digestive system shuts down because all my body is doing is preparing for either a fight or for me to run. That's all my body's doing. This is what happens with your emotions. So if you're walking one day and somebody's rude to you, that happens immediately. That happens. You start to feel it. You're breathing. You start to get red in your face. If you're dark like me, you won't see it, right? Because I get red, nobody sees it. But I'm just saying, you start to get red, your blood pressure starts to increase. That's what happens naturally. But guess what happens when the threat leaves? When the bear is gone, guess what happens? It goes away. Your breathing starts to calm down. The digestive system start working again. You start to get normal, right? You know why? Why did that happen? Because the package was delivered to me. I saw the bear. I got the package. Oh no, I'm scared. Or I'm mad. Or I get somebody bumped into you. Maybe you're mad. Or maybe, I have a 3-year-old, so maybe I get irritated because he does something. Whatever yours is, you experience the emotion, and guess what? Once it's finished, it goes away. Now, why do you think that we have ways of allowing this Amazon person to live with us? It's called a feeling. Whatever you call that emotion is a feeling. So I call it scared, right? When I saw a bear, I said I was scared or terrified. If I was on a roller coaster, I would say the same thing, honestly. I don't like roller coasters. But if you were on a roller coaster, you would probably say I was excited. But guess what? Our body felt the same thing. We just called it something different. And guess what happens when you call something different? When you start to label something, it's a belief. And we already went back here, okay? So now, whenever I go in the hallway, my heart starts to race, right? That's just an emotion. That's all it is. It's a package delivering to you saying, hey, this is an uncomfortable situation. You may be a little nervous. It's okay. You're uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable situation. Your heart starts to pound. You're going to say, I'm scared. That's what you're going to tell yourself. I'm scared. Or in most cases, you're telling yourself, they're going to laugh at me. They're making fun of me. And guess what that thought is going to do? It's going to make you feel bad. Before you even walked in the door, you're feeling bad. And guess what your action is going to be? Looking down, walking, try not to make eye contact. I mean, think about it. If I was here like right now, if I did this and I was talking to you guys like this, how many of you would want to be my friend right now? Just think about it. If I'm like, hey guys, hi, I'm RJ. Think about it. How many of you would be like, hey man, he's a cool guy? No, because your actions is not giving you the result you want. You want friends, right? I'm sure you want friends. Well, if you're walking around like this, it's going to be hard to make friends. You're not even making eye contact with people. That's why this is so important for you guys to understand that you are a confident person. You are. It's just to some of you, it doesn't come natural to you. That's all it is. So now you're fearful in these situations. And yes, you will get your heart rate will increase, right? Your heart rate will increase because it's uncomfortable. You haven't been there before. It's no difference than you doing anything for the first time. You're going to be like, your heart rate is going to increase. That's an emotion. It's a message. Hey, guess what? This is your first time. Hey, practice more. Maybe you won't feel this way. That's all it's telling you. But you label it. You say, I'm scared. They're making fun of me. Well, then it's going to give you the action where you're going to start shying away from things. So are you guys getting this? Are you guys understanding the importance of allowing something to continue to be an emotion? Just feel it. It's an emotion. Get the package and then say goodbye to the delivery driver. Okay? Bye. You can't stay. You can't stay for dinner. Can't play video games. You can't spend a night. Leave because it's going to naturally go. And you just keep moving. Okay. I want to share something with you before I go to the next step. This is extremely important for teenagers that are on the call. Extremely important. Extremely important. Like sometimes I give you like, what do I want to call it? Like I give you some information that's like, that makes you just want to shake your head, right? Like it's just so good that you got to be like, man, this is gold or platinum or whatever you like. So I gave you guys something amazing last time. You remember it? I'll give it to you again. Remember I said that we all go through life seeking out feelings, pretty much feelings that we have access to already. For example, we spend our whole life trying to be popular, trying to get money, trying to have people compliment us or like us, all because of a feeling. That's it. And you can play the why game. You can be like, well, why do you want that? Like, oh, I want to be the best player on my basketball team. Why? Well, because I really love basketball. Okay, you love basketball, but why do you want to be the best on the team? Well, ultimately, because you want people to look at you as a great player. You want people to praise you. You want people to maybe want to be your friend. You want people to look up to you because it feels good. That's why you want it. So that's what I gave you guys last time, okay? So I'm going to give you something good this time. This is good. This is especially great for teenagers. Are you guys ready for it? Thumbs up. Oh, actually, we're in a new age. I'm about to give you some Bitcoin. We don't do gold anymore. We're doing Bitcoin. I'm about to give you guys some Bitcoin right here. All right, thumbs up if you want this Bitcoin I'm about to give you. All right, so here we go. This is going to help you whenever you are concerned at school, or you're walking down the hallway, or you hang out with your friends. Maybe you're used to being in a small friend group, but then they invite other people, and that's when you kind of like start to be shy. Or maybe you do something embarrassing. Or maybe you're walking down the hall thinking people are making fun of you. Whatever it is, I'm going to tell you this something. This is something that's amazing too, by the way. This is some Bitcoin. All right, here we go. Answer this question for me. You are shy, or you're worried, or you're not confident because you think other people are saying stuff about you or feeling a certain way, right? That's why. It's ultimately what it's about. You're worried about other people, essentially. Can we all be honest? We're worried about other people. When you're not confident, you're worried about someone else. Tell the truth. Yes? Okay, here we go. There we go. Here's some truth talkers. All right. Yes. You know that's what it is. Everyone is like this. Adults, teenagers, it doesn't matter. So you're worried about someone else. So what you do is this. You start to try to mind read. You try to read everyone's mind. You don't know what's happening in their mind. You're trying to read their mind. I did the same thing. I'm walking through the hallway. I'm like, oh man, that person was laughing. I saw them in my peripheral vision. They were laughing. They were laughing at me because I'm tall and skinny. That's what it was. How do I know that though? How do I know that? I'm trying to read their mind. It's impossible to read their mind. Okay, so that's number one. First point is you can't read their mind. So quit thinking about what somebody else is saying about you if you don't know. And honestly, even if somebody came to your face and said something and confirmed it and say, hey, you're tall and skinny, I still don't know if they're telling the truth, right? How do I know they're doing that? How do I know their motive was to tell me what they truly see about me? They could have said that for some other motive. They could have said it as a joke. Because my friends, we used to talk about each other as a joke. It could have been a joke. Or it could have been they're jealous of me, so they want to try to hurt my feelings. We can't read their mind. We don't know why they said it. So point number one, you can't read minds. But this is the gold here. Point number two, this is the Bitcoin I'm going to give you, okay? Everybody's ready for it. I want to ask you guys this question. This is going to answer everything. And I'm going to be quiet so somebody can just type or just shout out what I'm saying. How often throughout the day, okay, let's do percentages. How often do you think about yourself? Let me see what you guys say. I got to see it. This is some gold, I'm telling you, 100%. That's what I'm talking about, Alexis. 75%, Willow, okay? Who else? 2 times? I don't believe it, Randall. Nice try. I don't believe it. No. A lot says the Bell family. Come on, who else? Ali said 45%. I don't believe it. Sophia, 50%. I don't believe it. Kelly, 25%. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You think about yourself all of the time. All the time. In fact, think about it. We just had the conversation about walking through the hallway. Who are you thinking about when you're walking through the hallway? You're thinking about yourself. Oh, they're talking about me. They're making fun of me. Oh, I'm too tall, right? They're laughing at me. You think about yourself all of the time. Everyone does this. I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling bad. I'm mad. I'm irritated. This person gets on my nerves. They get on my nerves. You're constantly thinking about yourself all the time. So if you can understand that and you can agree with that, I know you think about yourself all the time. If you can agree with that, then what makes you believe? Explain this, please. Why then do you believe that people are thinking about you? Think about that. Why do you think they do that? Why do you think people are spending all day thinking about you? They're not. They're thinking about themselves. That's what I'm talking about. Kelly Golden. Well, I'm going to call it Bitcoin because we're in a modern age. But yes, when I first realized that, it literally changed my world. I stopped caring about what people thought because I know they were not thinking about me. Yes, they may have a glimpse and be like, oh, RJ this. But I guarantee you, literally a minute later, they're thinking about themselves. 100%. Some of you right now are not listening to me because you're thinking about yourself. If I was to tell you a story about something that just happened, like perfect example, I told you guys last time I broke my wrist, but you see, I'm free. But I broke my wrist. I had this cast, right? I broke my wrist. And as I was telling the story, I guarantee that you guys were trying to put yourself in the shoes, thinking about yourself, you little selfish people. You weren't even worried about my wrist. You were thinking about yourself. You were thinking about the time you got hurt or how you would feel if you broke your wrist. See, you think about yourself. That's all you do. That's what everybody does. We think about ourselves. It's so true. Everyone does it. So remember that. I'm sharing this with you because that's actually could be a good thing. Okay. I want you guys to realize that no one is thinking about you. I promise you that. Like if you walked in a hallway and you fell, so you just fell down. The entire school looked at you and say, ha, 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 you fell down, ha, 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 right? So that happened. Maybe a few of them may be like, hey, guess what? Guess what? Such and such fell down. Did you see it? Ha, 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 right? And guess what? 5 minutes later, they're thinking about themselves. Oh, man, I got to go to school. Oh, I hate school. Man, this test is hard. Wait a minute. That person's looking at me funny. Like, oh, they don't like me. Wait a minute. My friend did not save my seat at the lunch table. Oh, my gosh, they didn't text me. Like, I'm telling you, this is what happens all the time. Everybody. It's not just teenagers. It's adults, too. I'm telling you, you're so consumed in your life. You're not worried about somebody else. So I'll tell you that to say, please, let's be confident. No one is thinking about you. When you're walking down the hallway, no one cares. When you have that pimple on your face, no one cares. You're the one bringing attention to it. We didn't even notice. I woke up this morning. Oh my gosh, can you see this pimple? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, can you see that? Like you're calling attention to it. No one's even paying attention to it. We're not even paying attention. And if somebody see it, they're thinking about, oh yeah, I remember the time I had pimples. I didn't like that. Yeah, I need to go wash my face. Like something, right? My point I'm trying to tell you is no one is thinking about you. So fear is no longer an excuse to not be confident. Can we all agree with that? Let's all say that together. Fear is no longer an excuse to not be confident. We're all are confident people. Now, I don't know if this is enough to convince you to be confident, to be honest. I don't know if it's enough. I hope it is, but I don't know. Let us quickly talk about the advantages of being confident. It's like I need to wave like this carrot in front of you to get you to move towards it, right? Because I don't know if my words are enough for you to overcome the fear of feeling uncomfortable. I don't know it because I know it's real. I know it's real. I know if you're like uncomfortable, what I want to tell you guys is you're confident, but I don't know if what I'm sharing with you is enough. So who here needs more? Ask me a question so I can help you overcome whatever it is holding you back from being a confident person. And then we'll talk about the advantages of being confident. Anybody, you can share privately. You don't have to say your name if you don't want to. So I need to make sure you guys have everything. Everyone is confident. Say yes if you're confident. Everyone believes, I know that I matter to people that I love, and that is all I need to be confident. Yes, that's good. That's a great way of viewing that. Ali say yes. Quinn says yes. Kelly, yes. All right. Willow says yes. Okay. Max says yes. Bell family, yes. All right, perfect. Carly says yes, of course. All right, so I'm going to tell you this. This is some extra information to kind of get you to really actually do this. Like, you have to do whatever it takes to be confident. Seriously. You got to like get in the mirror and just start speaking words about yourself. That's one way. Another way is the posture. Because I'm telling you, it becomes thoughts, your beliefs, then it goes to how you speak, and then it's your posture. If you feel confident, you carry yourself a different way. A confident person can walk in a room smiling, head up, shoulders back. Even if you have to fake it, do it, right? Because a posture is action, right? It's action, and it will give you the result. And once people start to be like, hey, what got into you? Man, you're not shy anymore. Then guess what you're going to start to do? Believe that you're no longer shy. So you can start wherever you want in this triangle. If you need to fake it, fake it. Walk in a room smiling. Smiles literally lightens your face up. It invites people to want to talk to you. If you're walking around not smiling, some of us have a mean resting face. So what a mean resting face means that when you're not smiling and somebody just looks at you, it looks like you're mad. And the way you know that about yourself is if someone is coming to you saying, hey, are you okay? Like if you get that a lot, are you okay? Hey, are you upset? That means you have a resting mean face. Now, people call it other things, but me, I call it a resting mean face. I don't curse, all right? I don't curse at anything. So I call it a resting mean face. But people call it other stuff. Point I'm trying to say is that means when you're just being normal, that's normal, right? Your normal face, it looks mean. That's okay if you have that. It's okay. All that means is you need to smile more. Just get in the habit of smiling. And guess what? Me being an orthodontist, I know a cool little fact. When you smile, guess what? Your mind does not know if you're truly happy, and you start to feel happy. Remember, we're searching through lives for feelings. Well, just smile and you'll start feeling happy. So smile more. So smile. That's all you have to do. Because when you smile, it invites people to talk to you. If you're not smiling and you look mean, nobody wants to talk to you. Okay. So couple things. If you don't want to be this shy kid anymore, if you don't want to be known as this introvert or this person who can't talk and all that, you're not confident. If you want people to speak about you as like, hey, they're confident. Because remember, introvert and extrovert is about how you feel, like you're drained or not drained. That's all that matters, right? If you're not drained, get over it. And if you're by yourself and you're like, need people, get over it, start to get energized. That's all you have to do. The point is, if you want people to look at you and say, okay, he's a confident person, you have to do three things. Smile, hold your head up, okay? Shoulders back. It's just posture. Think of like military. Somebody said a military sergeant. That's why the military looks so confident. You ever see a military person? That's a confident pose. You think I was like having you guys do these poses because, I'm just like a weird guy. No, even the military, they know about that. That's confidence. When you stand at attention, that's confidence. When you do the whole, my dad was in the military, my sister's in the military. All that they do is confidence. Even their clothes is confident. Those clean, my dad used to call them dress blues. They'll be all starched and perfectly. That's confidence. Guess what? Who knows if they're confident in their mind? Who knows? But guess what happens when you see a military man? Think about it, or a woman. When you see a military woman, you automatically believe they're confident. You automatically believe it because the way they carry themselves. Well, guess what? You could do the same thing. So even if you don't believe it right now, all I'm telling you is fake it until you believe it, because you will believe it. Because what's going to happen is once you're confident, people are going to start to say something. And be like, wow, man, you changed. And this is the perfect time to do it because it's summertime. So you can kind of reinvent yourself. Everyone's going to say, hey, you changed. What got into you? Because you're doing the posture. All you have to do is this. I'm not even saying you have to talk a bunch, right? Because most people think you have to talk a lot. Just be confident. Walk in, smile, shoulders back, head up, smile. You can smile, acknowledge people, look them in their eye. You can do that right now. All of us can do that. But guess what happens? You have to practice. You have to practice. If it doesn't come natural, you have to practice. So don't beat yourself up the next time you go around your friends and you kind of, do this again, right? This means you need to practice. Just practice it. Get in the mirror and practice. Be confident. Smile. Just smile. That goes a long way. So real quick, let's talk about the advantages of confidence. What's going to happen if you become confident tomorrow, tonight? If you become confident, what's going to happen? Come on, start spitting them out for me. What do you think? What are the advantages of being a confident person? What do you experience in your life? More friends, happier? Yes. People will approach you? Yes. You don't know how many times you won't hold back. Willow, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, you won't hold back. More friends? Yes. People will respect you? Yes. So I coach people all over the country. Better self-image? Yes, that's a great one. Build up your self-esteem. I like it, Carly. I coach kids, teenagers all over the country. And one of the most common issues that I have to coach kids on, or teenagers, sorry, I don't mean to call you kids, is friendships. Either you're not having meaningful friends, or you're not getting enough friends, or your friends kind of leave you out sometimes. That's one of the bigger things I coach about. What I want to tell you is confidence goes a long way in that aspect. If you're like this and you're not talking, are you truly fun to be around? Just answer that question. If you're not talking, are you truly fun to be around? If you're just sitting there like this, not smiling, do you think people like hanging out with people like that? You may be the sweetest person. What the person said is you're holding back, because I know you're not like that all the time. Last time we talked about, think about the time when you're confident. That's how you can kind of like really know the times you've been confident, is when you think about either the people, the places. When are you confident? Some people are confident around their dogs. Some people are confident around their parents, friends. Some people are confident in sports or taking a test. Maybe math. You're confident in math. Maybe you're confident playing video games. Whatever your like area of confidence, maybe it's the guitar playing. Whatever that is, that's your real self. When you're confident, that's your real self. Well, when you're around your friends, you're not being that person. So they don't even really know you. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really know who you really are because you're like holding back. It's like you get these clever thoughts that will probably make people laugh, but then you don't say them. You just keep it back because you're worried about that somebody's gonna look at you and say that you're weird. So confidence is yes. If you want to write all these advantages down and stare at them, do what you have to do to be confident. But you can have more friends without question if you're confident. You will have better self-image, the way you look at yourself if you're confident. People will respect you more if you're confident. Actually, people won't try to bully you if you're confident. That's something else you got to remember too. Especially some of you guys in these settings where there's still bullying going on. If you're a confident person, they never really go for the confident person. They go for the one they feel is not going to say anything. Also, you're happier. You're just a happier person. You're a happier person if you're confident. But the biggest thing, what I really want for you guys, the reason why I'm doing everything that I do is because you will reach your full potential. That's what I'm saying to you. If you're confident, you will tap into your full potential. Because we talked about this last time. Each one of you were created for a purpose. I'm not just saying this like, oh, you're just saying that. No, I'm being honest. Because the reason why I know this, if I just look at logic, each one of us is so different. You cannot find another person in this entire world that's just like you, that has the same experiences as you, who are literally just like you. You can't find it. You can't look at somebody in the past. There's no one in the past who's like you. There's no one in the future that ever be like you. So that means you are literally one of a kind. Well, guess what? If there's anything that's one of a kind, that means there's a purpose for that one thing. That means only that one person can do whatever that is. For example, when somebody created a hammer, they had something in mind. The hammer is the most efficient way to drive a nail through a wall or something. You can use your shoe, you can use your hand, but a hammer is the most efficient. Someone created that hammer for that reason. Nothing else will work but the hammer to that level of efficiency. So it's the same thing with you. There's only one of you. There's something special you're supposed to do here. But the only way you're going to do it is if you're confident. Because if you second guess yourself along the way, then you're not going to take chances. You won't. You're going to play it safe. Because you get ideas all the time. I call them genius thinking. You get them all the time. It just comes to your head, just hits you. Oh, that's a good idea. And then you shut it down. But imagine if you were confident. Imagine if you were not worried about everyone who's not thinking about you anyway. Imagine you were worried about all these people and you just did it. You just tried it. Some of you right now had an idea to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you draw. I get this all the time. All the artists out there. You're an artist. You're spending all your time drawing and you're afraid to show your work. Because I always ask somebody when they come in my orthodontic office, I'm like, oh, you're an artist? Ooh, let me look at your phone. Show me one of the pictures. Oh, I don't have any. Come on now. You have to believe in yourself. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is you can accomplish amazing things, but you must be confident. Any questions before we go? Because I really need everyone before they leave this call to truly put on a new self. Literally, you cannot leave this call and be the same way you were before the call. Seriously. That means you're wasting your time. You have to make a change now. Even if you don't believe it, I need your posture to change. Even if you tell me the one thing you change right now is smiling. If you just smile more, I would take it. If you just stand up tall, I would take it. If you start to just say positive words about yourself, I would take it. So I need you guys before you leave this call to commit and say, you know what? I'm a confident person. I need you right now to write that. I am confident. Okay, before we do that, I got a question. I was waiting for a question. Okay, how do I deal with bullies that are only mean because they're either jealous or something is going on in their life? All right, so I'm going to answer that, Alexis. Aaliyah says, I am confident. I believe it, Leah. Quinn, thank you. I am confident. Willow said it. I am confident. Kaylee, I know you're confident. I am confident. Amira, I am confident. Thank you. Stevens, I'm confident. Ruhan, I'm confident. Yes, thank you guys. Let me answer that question. Let me answer the question. I'm going to answer it. Her question was, how do I deal with bullies that are only mean because they're jealous and there's something going on inside in their life? So a couple things there. One, I agree with you. If a person is bullying someone, they're not a confident person. We already said that. Confident people smile. Confident people think positively about themselves. When you harm someone else, whether it's with words or whether you're just being mean, it doesn't make you feel good. As a human, you don't feel good. It's part of being a human. When you hurt somebody, I don't care how much you say, yes, they deserve it. You're going to get to a point where you're going to be by yourself and you're going to feel bad. Everybody experiences this because you're a human. You're not an animal. Animals, I don't know. I don't think they feel bad. It doesn't seem like they feel bad. When I see a lion grab a zebra, I don't think they feel bad. I don't think so, but I don't know. But if you're a human, 100% you feel bad. You know why? Because we already talked about it, these bag of emotions, and there's certain emotions that come out naturally, just like whenever you do something nice for someone, you get this feeling like you feel good. Yeah, when you give money to the homeless person, you feel good. There's just something about you. Even though you know they're probably not going to do the right thing with that money, you still feel good. It's the same thing when you're bullying somebody. If you bully somebody, you feel bad. Just think about the last time you were mean to somebody. You're just mean to them. I guarantee you felt bad. Maybe it was your younger brother. your younger sister, maybe it was your mom, maybe your dad, maybe you like were rude to them. I guarantee you at one point, like you were walking, you went home, you went to your room, I guarantee you kind of felt bad. Well, I'm telling you now, if somebody can constantly bully somebody and constantly hurt somebody, they're not feeling good about themselves. Something is happening. Either they're not confident themselves, right? They beat themselves up, or maybe it's at home they're getting bullied or something. I don't know. But how do you feel confident around these people is just being confident, honestly. I would say, in my experience, being around a bully, if you have to be around them, I guarantee if you wanted to like change your life, if you caught them one-on-one, bullies are a completely different person when they're one-on-one. I can tell you that. So there's a bully that you're like in your circle. Maybe it's your sister, right? You have to be around this person. Because obviously if it's somebody that's bullying you at school, just don't be around them, right? Like, just ignore them. But if it's somebody you have to be around, maybe you feel bullied by your parents. Maybe it's a sibling. Maybe it's a best friend, whatever. You want to talk to them one-on-one, first of all. So I'm going to give you guys some quick tips here. Talk to them one-on-one. That's number one, because bullies like to make a show. And then the second one is you want to make sure they're in a good mood. So if you see the bully laughing, you want to make sure they're in a good mood. Maybe if your mom is like smiling, your sibling is smiling, in a good mood. And you just go to them and say, hey, I'm concerned. Like, I want to talk to you. How are you doing today? How are you feeling? Just tell me, how are you feeling? And just show concern. That's how you can help any bully, is just showing concern. Don't call them a bully because then they're going to get mad, right? Like some people don't even notice that they're a bully, but just show concern. Hey, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? That's all you have to do. It'll allow them to open up to you. I hope that I answer your question. But if it's somebody that you don't have to be around with, you don't have to be around them. All right. So another question here. She's saying that she feels like sometimes her classmates bully her. So if your classmates, you have to be around them for the most part. You can't just like leave, right? So there's two types of bullies. We can call it the big B bullies and the little B bullies. The big B bullies, they have something against you. They want to destroy your life some way. That's their mission. Every day they wake up, they're thinking about themselves, trust me, but then they go and spend some time thinking about how to make your life miserable. That's a true bully. That's the big B bully. Luckily for us, many of those don't exist. And I guarantee you, if they do exist, something is definitely wrong. For that person, you got to get help. You're honest. You got to go to the teacher. You got to tell your parents. You got to go to the principal, because reasoning with a person like that is not going to work. Okay. So you got to actually go through the natural steps. If you're not in a school setting, like for instance, for me, if I had a person truly trying to harass me and bully me, I have to go to the cops. I have to do something. But luckily for us, that's not the majority. The majority of the people are going to be little Bs, little B bullies. I'm going to tell you something about little B bullying. Sometimes they don't know they're bullying you. It's just a fact. They don't know they're bullying you. Because think about it. Their mission is not to destroy your life. They may just be alone with their friends and their friends say something, they laugh, or they may joke around with you. So with that person, I would first check yourself and see how you're presenting yourself. Are you being confident? Because if you're being confident, that's a person you could pull to the side and you could talk to them. Just talk to them, have a conversation. Hey, I noticed for the past 2 weeks, you really have been just giving me a hard time. Did I do something? Like, what did I do? Did I do something? And I guarantee if you catch them one-on-one, they will probably be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even know I was doing that. My bad. But why we don't do that? Why most of us will not do that? Because we're worried that that person then going to go tell everybody, oh, guess what? Such and such just asked me, But remember, how do we overcome that? Who remembers how to overcome that? What game do we use to overcome that? Who remembers? That's it, Willow. Bam, Willow. That's it, Kelly. You guys get extra points today. The rabbit hole game. Okay, let's play it real quick. Okay, you go tell somebody, they laugh. Okay, laugh, you feel bad. Okay, you feel bad, then what? Life goes on, right? Okay, so we know, just go talk to the person, because guess what? There's a chance they will tell their friends and laugh at you. It's a chance, small chance, but there's a chance they will change. How about that? Have you thought about that? Why do we always focus on the negative? What happens if the conversation you have actually changes them and they're no longer bullying you? So I would say if it's a little B, catch them by themselves and you say, hey, I noticed you've been kind of giving me a hard time. Did I do something? And they'll talk to you. Does that make sense? Did I answer your question? Thumbs up. I answered your question. Okay, cool. Any other questions out there before we go? Any other questions? Any other questions? Yes, any questions? Lauren, give me a question. What you got? You feeling good? You feeling confident? You look confident. That's what I'm talking about. Lauren looks confident. That's what I'm talking about. That's a confident look. If you want to know what confidence looks like, you look at Lauren's screen now. She whipped the hair back. That's what I'm talking about. That's confidence. That's posture. She's smiling. She's whipping the hair. I guarantee you she's confident. Oh, can I share something else with you guys before you go? Oh, please, let me give me one more. One more. I got to give you one more, please. All right, I'm going to give you one more. It made me think about it when Lauren did that. All right, this is my last one, I promise. I'll let you go. Some of you may ask the question, well, if I'm confident, people are going to talk about me. They're going to be jealous of me. Because I guarantee you, Lauren, she has all that confidence. She whipped her hair. It's natural for some people who are not confident to be like, ooh, I don't like her. I don't like her, right? So I'm going to share with you one more thing. It's called the bell curve. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but you can use the bell curve for anything. No matter who you are in life, think of the bell curve. There's extremists to anything, okay? So just think about yourself. There's people on the one end of the curve who do not like you. They just don't like you. That's a fact. I don't care who you are. Right now, people don't like me. Mother Teresa was known as the sweetest person in the world, nice giving. Guarantee there's people that didn't like her. I'm a Christian, so I can say Jesus was perfect and people didn't like him. All right? So there's guaranteed to be people who do not like you. It's a bell curve. Guaranteed. But guess what? There's people who love you, like absolutely like love you. And I'm not even talking about just your parents. There's people right now in your school who look at you and say like, you know what? I wish I was her. I wish I was him. They don't tell you because maybe they're not confident. Maybe they want to tell you it's weird, but I'm telling you, there's people right now. They're like your little like followers, man. They just look up to you and be like, man, I love her hair. She's so awesome, whatever, right? That's the bell curve. There's a small part of the bell curve. The big part of the bell curve, just think of a bell. Most people are pretty much indifferent. So what that means is most people are like, well, if you're cool, I like you. If you're not cool, I don't really like you, whatever. I don't really care, honestly. You're a nice person, whatever, right? They don't really spend a lot of their mental energy talking about you. So the reason why I bring this up is if you become this new confident you, right? You're whipping your hair back. You're smiling. You have this posture and you're worried that people are going to start being jealous of you. Well, I'm here to tell you there's always going to be somebody who's not going to like you and who's going to be jealous of you, even when you're not shy. Even when you're shy. And there's going to be people who love you. But the people in the middle are like, they can be swayed. As long as you're a nice person, they're going to like you. I just want you guys to understand that there's always someone, no matter what you do, no matter if you're the introvert or the extrovert, no matter if you're confident or you're shy, no matter if you're the weird kid or the popular kid, there's always going to be somebody who do not like you. There's a percentage of people who just won't like you. And there's a percentage of people who love you. You just probably never heard of it. They probably never told you. But right now, there are people who literally admire you. They just never told you. So I want you to keep that in mind as you become confident. Okay? Everybody got that? I appreciate it. And make sure you join me here next week. All right, cool.
I hope you enjoy listening to the group coaching session. And I also hope that you are able to learn something that would help strengthen the relationship between you and your teenager. Until next time, this is a teen's perspective, helping parents see the future.